Steve Nathans-Kelly, editor, stream media producer, here today in Acton, Massachusetts at the offices of Diginovations, one of the leading video production studios in New England, specializing in corporate video and particularly education video, video for nonprofits. And today we're going to be talking about producing promotional and positioning video for schools. We'll be talking today with executive producer Whit Wales. And the way we kind of came to this topic was that Whit had sent me recently some videos that he produced for a local independent school called Middlesex School. And it was especially interesting to me because about 20 years ago, I actually worked at that school. My first job, I worked at that school. I was had the lofty title of Director of Publications and Public Relations. And a big part of my job was promoting and positioning the school. But video was nowhere near our radar then. It really wasn't part of the program at all. But I was there at the very beginning of when the school was really looking at using photography in a more conceptual way and in a way that would help capture the vitality and the mission of the school. But it was still a very new project then, and we didn't get that far with it. So what we'll really be looking at today is how far that project has moved along, not just at Middlesex, but looking more generally at the way building a cohesive video program can be used to promote and position a school in a competitive landscape and really make sense of that school to people in the public sphere and bring the identity of the school out. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Life-changing.
Fun, intellectual,
challenging. Oh, that's a really tough one.
As is most often the case, certainly in education, is that people say, we want a video, and we want it to be 3 to 5 minutes, and that's about, and then it kind of just tapers off right there, ribbit. And you're the expert. And what do you think? What do you got? And that was very much the case here. They said, well, we just want you to come film for a day and, make people want to come. Make people want to come to Middlesex. And so that's where it began. The concept was easy enough, but I think what is most challenging for educational institutions is then translating the concept into the reality of executing scenarios and pulling students out of class and determining faculty who are going to appear in the video. I think what most schools think is like, oh, well, you're going to take care of this. I don't have to worry about it. Well, not that you have to worry about it as an academic institution, but you have to be thoughtful. You have to understand your relationship as a co-producer, if you will, of the project. And to their credit, to Doug Price's credit, he really, once he understood that this would require him to think about the students, the appropriate faculty, the appropriate message, he really did get to work, and we had a very rich dialogue about that. Everyone who's involved in this community and industry understands, the more pre-production, the more preparation you have about the environment you're going into, the better predictor that's going to be of good results. And I am not a fisherman, but I like to think you always want to, cast upstream when you have the opportunity. So even before going in to visit with Doug Price, I went to the website. I went to really look at what the mission of the school was and is. I went to really research what ambience existed at the school, at least what they were trying to communicate. And I think that's really critical. So, part of what Middlesex touts is a real encouragement of students to discover themselves in co-curricular activities, be it the arts, be it athletics, be it leadership positions at the school. And it really isn't important that one isn't respected over another, and even within the community of the students themselves, it was really inspiring to see just how supportive and respectful each of the students were about what the other was doing. And so in that way, I think we were very lucky in that these are students who are very outgoing, they're engaged, they're passionate, they're happy, they have a sense of why they're at the school, they want to be there. So that really made it very easy to sort of guide and encourage their commitment in the dialogue.
Sometimes you don't always feel like at the end of the day that you have time for basketball practice and then go into the studio and do your paintings, but in the end you really want to be in there. You want to be working, you want to be involved in something bigger than yourself.
I think you have to completely internalize the mission and the spirit of the school. I think you really have to dig down and understand that and be clear about that and understand how students connect with that, understand and appreciate why the faculty have been there as long as they have, or what their passion is for what they're doing. But you have to look and say, you really have to do the homework to say, what distinguishes this school from another? What tends to happen as you begin on a project is everything looks like a video, everything looks like a story, everything looks like something we must film. And so part of it is to rein in your client to say, what is it we really want to have as an outcome here? And then work yourself backwards. And so you also want to talk simply in terms of, okay, so we've identified that we want students involved, we want faculty involved. Now let's look here. Who are the representatives? And you want representatives in terms of diversity of age, of sex, male, female, of color. And these are important issues because you don't want it to be monochromatic. But generally speaking, people are saying, oh great, and they just run through kids that they know without sort of stepping back and saying, ah yes, how can we create the different angles of this prism to generate a more effective statement that will address as many people as possible. You'll find, I think, in educational institutions a degree of the need to control with complete hands-off. And you want to find that and engage in that middle territory where there's a level of trust, but also that someone feels comfortable accompanying you on your journey throughout the day in engaging with kids, and where you're in a situation where you're not feeling someone in an interview sort of whispering in your ear saying, well, have you asked about this? But someone who, and the students are equally comfortable with them being there or not being there. It is, you need to assess and take time to really understand on the front end what you anticipate will happen during filming. And to say, so therefore, if someone is very concerned, maybe overly so, about the minutiae of the video, you might want to suggest, I'll tell you what, if you could plan and connect with the next interviewee where we're going to be here in 20 minutes, that would be tremendously helpful to me. And Chris and I will be working here with the student, and we'll catch up with you here in 10 minutes or so. The more you can, again, anticipate not simply the logistics of your day, but the dynamics of the relationship and how it will impact the logistics of that day, the better off you are. I taught for 20 years at a boarding school, at a secondary high school environment, and I think that helps. I think it helps to have an understanding of the calendar and what that signifies. And I think even for someone, if you have kids, you understand if they're in school, what it means when it's a week before spring vacation, what it means for seniors when you're late in May, what the excitement is about at the start of school in September, what it means when you're near homecoming. You just have to put yourself into that calendar. And as you put yourself into that calendar, and that's a great, talking point or connection point you have, and chatting with teachers or students before you begin to roll, and so that they understand, that you understand where they are and what's going on in their lives at that moment. And so I think just on a very fundamental level, the more you can really look at just the calendar of a school, just look for the little facts and details and what they represent, and look at how, if you're going to talk to the football coach, really understand what the record has been for the 3 previous years leading in. So, wow, congratulations, coach. You guys got to gone to semis and actually won the state 3 years ago. That's so impressive. Or to be able to say, wow, looks like you've really been working hard to build a program here. That is going to, I think, draw people in and encourage them to speak about what they're passionate about in very direct and immediate way.
Middlesex is awesome. Come here if you want to be awesome.